Hey everybody, I'm here today to answer a simple question, and the question is, how often should you rotate tires on a car? I'll be giving you an honest answer, so let's get right into the video. Now, basically, it all depends on the type of tire that you have, the type of driving that you do, like where you live and so forth, and the type of vehicle that you are driving on a daily basis. Let me go over some examples. For instance, directional tires. Okay, so directional tires can only be rotated in a certain way. Directional tires are tires that are only supposed to be turning in a certain direction, okay? So they can only be rotated in a certain way because you can't switch them in a certain way or else they'll rotate in the opposite direction, and that's incorrect for the tires. So if you have directional tires, they can only be rotated in a certain way. Staggered tires can only be rotated with the same axle. A staggered tire setup is when you have different size tires or different size wheels and tires on different sections of the car. So like your front tires are likely going to be smaller than your rear tires, meaning you can't swap your rear tires with your front tires or else it's now the opposite, right? So it needs to be the same axle rotation. The same size tires must be rotated with each other, okay? But if they're directional, then they can't be rotated with each other. So if you have staggered directional, then they can't be rotated. So it all depends. There's a few other specifics too. Like certain tires can only be rotated with certain drivetrains on a cross rotation, right? So there's certain specifics that you have to follow along with. But to answer the question, right, once you know the type of rotation that you can do, I'll tell you what I do. So where I live, we have summer tires and winter tires. Because I live in Canada, we have some pretty decently harsh winters. It's not as bad as everyone thinks. It's not as bad as like the stereotype is, but we have some pretty decently harsh winters. And with that being said, you know, we switch our tires to summer tires and winter tires for the most part. Most people do. Not everyone, but most people do. So where I live, I have summer tires and winter tires for all of my vehicles. Both of my vehicles. I don't have more than two at the time of filming this. We'll see, you know, in the future. You never know if I'm going to get a sports car. You never know. But for now, I only have two. A van and a Honda CR-V, like a sport utility vehicle, okay? So whenever I switch between summer and winter tires, I rotate the tires as well. So for instance, right now at the time of me filming this, I have winter tires on. When I put my summer tires on, okay, which in this case are all season tires for this vehicle, when I put my summer tires on, or my all seasons, basically I'm gonna put them on and rotate them from last season, okay? And then when I put my winter tires on next fall, basically, I'm going to actually, like, you know, the early winter, I'm going to put them on and rotate them from last season. So for myself, about every 6 months, whenever I do a tire swap, whenever I switch between summer and winter tires or all season and winter tires, I also rotate the tires from the last season. So for my vehicle, it's every 6 months. Okay, but I do also swap the tires within that tire rotating period. As a rule of thumb, where you live, if you have the same tires all year long, I recommend you rotate them maybe every 6 months to every year. What that's going to do is it's going to even out the tread wear on the tires. Is going to keep them nice and evenly leveled and evenly spaced. Will it make your tires better? Probably not, but will it maximize their life and make them perform more evenly? Yes, because believe it or not, some people make way more right turns than left turns, and that's going to affect the tire wear of the tread wear on certain sides of the vehicle. By rotating your tires, you're going to counteract that, okay? In addition, you're just going to get a level of tread wear that is uneven on either side of the vehicle. By rotating the tires, you're going to even that out. So it's going to make sure your tires perform more levelly, more consistently throughout their life. Now, it depends on how much you drive. If you drive a lot, maybe every 6 months is a good rule of thumb for a tire rotation. If you don't drive that much, maybe every year. That's my rule of thumb. You can look at your car's maintenance schedule and it's going to tell you that, but it'll tell you in terms of numbers of miles or kilometers usually. So it depends on how much you drive. As a rule of thumb, if I was using the same tires all year, I'd probably rotate them every 6 months. That's just my rule of thumb. And like I said, how often should you rotate your tires? The answer is how often you would like to and how often you're supposed to. But that's my answer for what I do. That's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.